This video is all about what types of shampoos and conditioners are best recommended during scalp cooling. It's quite a long video, so make yourself a cuppa and sit back and join me while I take you through all the different types of shampoos and conditioners that I best recommend. Now, my guidance comes from working with my charity Cancer Hair Care and hundreds upon hundreds of people going through scalp cooling, mainly women, but some men as well. And together, people give me feedback and we try and test with an independent panel, scalp cooling panel with my charity Cancer Hair Care. I have loads and loads of individuals that I'm constantly in contact with throughout their scalp cooling experience, and people from all around the world. Thank you so much for getting in touch and sharing with me the products that you think work or don't work. And this has enabled me to make this selection for you so that I hope whatever your hair type, whatever your scalp type, I've got a product that should be really suitable for you to recommend during scalp cooling. But I also want you to feel empowered to go away and assess your own scalp and your own hair type and go and look for products that you think are suitable. Let's start there. So during scalp cooling, you'll know that you need to treat your hair very gently for the entire duration of your scalp cooling and for some time afterwards until your hair feels like it's secure and rejuvenated after your chemotherapy treatment. Now, I'm asked all the time what's the best shampoo and conditioner to use, and I'm going to share with you what I really think is my top recommendation, and it's this. I recommend that you use what's right for your current scalp and hair type. Now, that might change during scalp cooling. Your scalp might become more sensitive, your hair may become dry and brittle, or it might not change at all. So let's start from that basis. Now, of course, most of you want to get yourselves prepared. And there are two things to think about really during scalp cooling when it comes to products. One is what you use when you're actually wearing the cold cap on your hair. Now, depending on what type of manufacturer you have, of course, your manufacturer, whatever healthcare or hospital provider you're using, they'll give you a booklet or direct you online to some of their recommendations. Now, I'm not taking away from their recommendations, I just want to enhance that. Sometimes when you wear a cold cap, you're asked to wear conditioner. For example, the global leaders, which are Paxman, always recommend you use a small amount of conditioner on your hair when you're wearing your cold cap. And that's to help put the cap on and off. It's not about conditioning your hair during treatment, okay? It's really about easy cap removal. That's what it's there for. Some scalp cooling manufacturers don't recommend using conditioner during treatment. Some do it on dry hair and some on damp down hair only. If you're using a Paxman system, all of the conditioners I'm going to recommend today are suitable for you to wear when you've got your cold cap on. Then, of course, the time that you're going to use your shampoos and conditioners more is when you're washing your hair and conditioning your hair throughout your regular days in between treatments. What's super important is that you keep your hair clean and tangle free. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sharing with you some fragrance-free, paraben-free, sulphate-free products and explain to you why you're going to hear that over and over again as a recommendation during scalp cooling. Now, it's fair to say that some people find that during chemotherapy treatment, their skin on their scalp and their whole body can become more sensitive. And for sure, you know, wearing a cold cap, which is very, very cold, is going to perhaps make your scalp feel temporarily more sensitive. We also do expect some hair thinning, so there's a lot going on for your scalp. So that's why you'll often hear people say, nurses, oncologists, scalp cooling manufacturers, go for fragrance-free, paraben-free, sulphate-free. What we're saying is, if you go for something that is for sensitive scalps, you've got less of a problem perhaps occurring. So sometimes fragrances do cause people slight irritations on their hair, but you'll see as I go through, I'm also going to recommend some products that aren't fragrance-free. Starting with the fragrance-free ones. So everything in this range, by the way, you don't need to scribble it all down. I have written for you on YouTube underneath the video. There is a whole list of every product I'm recommending, and also that's a place where you can tell me what you're using. Maybe you found a goodie and together we can share that with everybody. So one of my favourite fragrance-free shampoos and conditioners is actually by Waitrose, and they do a very inexpensive, I think it's mainly kind of under £10 per product. They do this range called Pure, and it's really, really lovely and gentle. It's completely natural, and it's fragrance-free, paraben-free, sulphate-free. So it's really, really good for something that you want to just for regular hair, finer hair types. It really helps to just cleanse the hair, and they've got a couple of different conditioners in the range as well, including a hair mask. So if your hair's feeling extra dry, that can be really good. Now, a hair mask is a conditioner, but a more type of intensive treatment. You can use the regular conditioner or this conditioner actually on your hair when you're having your cold cap treatment, if for example you're having the Paxman one, or you can use it to shampoo, condition your hair and treat during your treatment. That's a really nice light kind of shampoo and conditioner. The Paxman range, so Paxman are the only manufacturer of scalp cooling who have made their own range of shampoo and conditioner, and I really like this if you've got shorter hair or finer lengths of hair. I think it's great. Again, it's fragrance free, paraben free, sulphate free. It's a very mild shampoo and a matching conditioner with a nice generous amount that you can just use at any time you need to cleanse your hair and moisturise your hair, and of course the conditioner is suitable for wearing when you've got your cold cap on as well. What I love though about Paxman is I had a conversation, and you can watch it in another one of my cold cap video playlists. I wrote it down so I remember the title. It's How to Prepare Your Hair for a Cold Cap. In that video, I'm speaking to Claire Paxman from the Paxman family, and Claire directs all the information for patients and trains nurses and oncologists as well about scalp cooling. She's super knowledgeable, and we had a lovely conversation about how important it is that people do understand that fragrance-free is just a recommendation, and the one that Paxman have brought out themselves, you don't have to use it. You can use whatever shampoo and conditioner you choose. So if you want to hear more about that, you could check that video out. But I really want to echo that there isn't a shampoo or conditioner at all that's going to make scalp cooling more effective. What your shampoo and conditioner is going to do is help to care for your scalp and your hair during your scalp cooling. So I've got two more in a fragrance-free range to show you. So Green People produce beautiful organic shampoos and conditioners, and they do a really lovely fragrance-free one. They've called it scent-free. They've got a shampoo and a conditioner. The shampoo's for sensitive scalp, so if you are finding that your scalp is perhaps really itchy, feeling extra sensitive and very fragile, this could be a nice one for you. And they've got a gorgeous scent-free moisturising boost conditioner as well. And over 80% of the ingredients in these products are organic, and this is also suitable for vegetarians and vegans. So it's one of my top tips if you're looking for something for sensitive scalps. Another one of the really natural brands, again, sulphate free, paraben free, fragrance free, is Faith and Nature, who, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I often refer to this because it's a very, very good price, and you get a lot in a bottle. And I find that if somebody calls me on the phone, for example, and it's really hard for me to assess their hair, and it's not overly dry and it's not overly fine, this is a great go-to product. So if you're watching this and you're looking for something to get a friend, for example, that's having scalp cooling, this is my go-to kind of suit anybody across the board. So if you've got kind of sensitive scalp, your hair is feeling in need of some light moisture, not overly dry but light moisture, this conditioner particularly is really lightweight, so you can use a nice lot of it to detangle your hair, but it won't weigh your hair down, which is particularly helpful if you experience hair thinning, which is fairly common during scalp cooling treatment. So they're all your fragrance-free ones, but as you've heard me say, and I'll say it time and time again, you don't have to change your shampoo and conditioner, and you don't have to use fragrance-free. It's a recommendation. The other reason it's a recommendation, as well as maybe having sensitivity on your scalp, is because you're highly likely to lose your nose hairs. And when you lose your nose hairs, it means fragrances can be very, very strong and in some cases overpowering. Also, we know from feedback from others that have had treatment and scalp cooling, if they use a very strongly fragranced, say, shampoo and conditioner during their treatment, especially when they're wearing that cold cap, later on after they've finished their treatment, that fragrance can trigger them into a negative memory, reminding them of a time when they were having their chemotherapy treatment. So another reason people choose fragrance free sometimes is to just have no later association with a key fragrance. So the reason I've got some ones with fragrance in them, if you've got very, very dry hair, if you've got afro hair, really curly hair, sometimes I feel that you need added ingredients such as shea butter and coconut and avocado and honey, things like that, and they are going to have a fragrance. Now, a lot of these fragrance-free shampoos and conditioners have things like aloe vera as a base in them and things that would have a fragrance but don't really show up in these types of products. But if you've got afro hair, very dry hair, and you need intense moisture, I think it's far more important to make sure you are treating your hair as best as possible than it is to use a fragrance-free product. So this is a lovely range, Cantu, and it's sulphate-free, paraben-free, and it's got a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in conditioner, and a whole kind of range in there of other products as well. And this is just brilliant on afro hair and curly hair, and I can't tell you how many people have recommended it. I think it's been out for a couple of years now, but people, all of a sudden, I was working with a lot of ladies with afro hair and very curly and dry hair, and without doubt, everyone that tried this said, suck this one up, really hydrating and great for afro hair. It's got a noticeable fragrance, but it's not overpowering. You know how sometimes coconut products and shea butter and things like that, they can be overpowering. So once you've rinsed it out of your hair, you're just left with a very subtle fragrance. So hopefully it will work for you if you've got afro hair or very dry hair. Another one is Curls Unleashed, and this is a range specifically brought out for afro hair and very, very curly hair types. And again, they have a leave-in conditioner, and this one has shea butter and mango in it, sulphate free, paraben free, and a really nice range with a noticeable fragrance again, but once it's rinsed out of your hair, not overpowering, and a nice lot of leave-in kind of products with that range. And I particularly like the Curls Unleashed curl smoothie with coconut and avocado. This is really great if you need to, intensively leave a styling product in curly or afro hair, because it's going to keep, it helps keep it tangle free and is really, really nourishing. And last but not least of the products I'm recommended is Twisted Sister. So this is a relatively new product out on the market, and again, paraben free, sulphate free, and it hydrates and detangles, and they've got a range of shampoos and conditioners and styling products. And this is really nice if you've got quite thick afro or curly hair, very, very dry hair. Please don't use products for afro hair if you've got fine flyaway hair. It's not going to give you the right type of moisturising boost. If you've got fine flyaway hair, stick with these ones that I've recommended, the fragrance-free ones, or use your regular shampoo and conditioner. That's fine, folks, for any kind of hair type. So I know I've just gone through loads of shampoos and conditioners there, but hopefully there's something for everybody. And it really is about choosing something which helps to keep your hair clean and helps to keep your hair detangled. Now, with that in mind, I've made a whole host of videos on my Cold Cap Club playlist, so you can check those out, all about every subject to do with scalp cooling. And just one that I thought you might be interested in as we're talking about products is one where I talk about different types of brushes and detangling your hair. That might be a good one, or check out some of my other on my playlist. I'll see you soon.